On April 27, 2011, the skies over Alabama turned ominous as one of the most violent tornadoes in U.S. history carved a path of destruction through the heart of Tuscaloosa and Birmingham. With winds exceeding 190 miles per hour, this EF4 tornado would forever change the landscape and the lives of thousands. Hello, and welcome to Deadliest Disasters, where we cover some of the most devastating events that happened throughout history. Today we look back at this catastrophic event, not just to remember the devastation, but to understand what happened, honor those affected, and learn the valuable lessons this disaster taught us. The Tuscaloosa-Birmingham tornado wasn't an isolated event. It was part of what meteorologists now call the 2011 Super Outbreak. This was the largest, costliest, and deadliest tornado outbreak recorded in the United States history. Spanning 4 days in late April, more than 360 tornadoes touched down across 21 states, claiming 348 lives. The conditions for this perfect storm had been brewing for days. A powerful, low-pressure system collided with warm, moist air from the Gulf of Mexico and cooler, drier air from the northwest. Add to this a strong jet stream and significant wind shear, and you have the ingredients for severe supercell thunderstorms. The multi-day outbreak culminated on April 27th with the most violent day of tornadic activity since the 1974 Super Outbreak. Multiple episodes of tornadic activity ensued, with 2 waves of mesoscale convective systems in the morning hours, followed by a widespread outbreak of supercells from Mississippi to North Carolina during the afternoon and evening. By early afternoon on April 27th, a particularly dangerous supercell thunderstorm formed southwest of Tuscaloosa. At 4:43 p.m., a tornado touched down in rural Tuscaloosa County. What started as a relatively narrow funnel would soon grow into a monster, reaching up to 1.5 miles wide. The tornado tracked northeast, gaining strength as it approached the city of Tuscaloosa. At 5:13 p.m., it entered the southwestern edge of the city with devastating force. The University of Alabama was largely spared a direct hit, but many residential areas and commercial districts weren't so fortunate. For those in its path, there was little time to react. Despite improved warning systems, the sheer power and speed of this tornado meant catastrophic damage was inevitable. What followed was 80 miles of destruction, one of the longest tornado paths ever recorded in Alabama. The tornado tore through densely populated areas of Tuscaloosa, destroying or damaging more than 7,000 structures. Neighborhoods like Alberta City and Forest Lake were virtually unrecognizable. Essential infrastructure was decimated. Power lines down, gas lines ruptured, roads impassable. After devastating Tuscaloosa, the tornado continued northeast toward Birmingham, maintaining its incredible strength. The communities of Pleasant Grove and Pratt City suffered catastrophic damage as the tornado tore through the western suburbs of Birmingham. When the tornado finally dissipated after 90 terrifying minutes, the human toll was staggering. 64 lives were lost, 44 in Tuscaloosa County and 20 in Jefferson County. More than 1,500 people were injured, and thousands were left homeless. Behind these statistics are countless personal stories, families separated during the chaos, neighbors pulling each other from rubble, first responders working tirelessly to find survivors. One survivor from the Alberta City neighborhood recalled, quote, "It sounded like a freight train. We had just enough time to get to the bathroom and huddle in the tub. When we came out, our house was gone, but somehow we were still alive," unquote. The response was immediate and massive. Local emergency services, despite being victims themselves in many cases, sprang into action. The National Guard was deployed. FEMA arrived to coordinate federal assistance. But perhaps most inspiring was the response from everyday citizens. Volunteers poured in from across the country. Churches and community centers became makeshift shelters and distribution points. The University of Alabama transformed its recreation center into a relief hub. In the face of unimaginable destruction, humanity's better nature shone through. President Barack Obama visited the devastated region on April 29th, declaring, quote, "I've never seen devastation like this," unquote. Recovery would take years. The financial impact was estimated at $2.4 billion, making it one of the costliest tornadoes in U.S. history. Tuscaloosa Mayor Walt Maddox led an ambitious rebuilding initiative called Tuscaloosa Forward, focusing not just on rebuilding what was lost, but on creating more resilient communities. New mixed-use developments, improved infrastructure, and stronger building codes became priority. Scientifically, the 2011 Tuscaloosa-Birmingham tornado provided valuable data for meteorologists. It highlighted both the strengths and limitations of our warning systems. The National Weather Service had issued tornado warnings well in advance, with an average lead time of 24 minutes, significantly better than the national average. Yet the death toll was still high, raising important questions about how warnings are communicated and received. In the years since, the National Weather Service has implemented improved radar technology, refined warning language to better convey urgency, and developed more targeted alert systems. The tragedy has quite literally saved lives by improving how we detect and respond to tornado threats. Today, the physical scars on the landscape have largely healed. New buildings stand where others were destroyed, but the memory of April 27, 2011 remains deeply embedded in the community's consciousness. Memorial sites like the Tuscaloosa Bicentennial Tornado Memorial honor those who lost their lives. Annual commemorations keep their memory alive and remind us of our shared vulnerability to nature's fury. Perhaps the most important legacy of the Tuscaloosa-Birmingham tornado is the emphasis on preparedness. Schools and public buildings in Alabama now routinely include storm shelters. Building codes have been strengthened to better withstand high winds. Public education about tornado safety has been expanded. The key lessons are simple but vital. Have multiple ways to receive weather warnings, create a family emergency plan and practice it, identify the safest location in your home, typically an interior room on the lowest floor and away from windows, and prepare an emergency kit with essentials to last at least 72 hours. The 2011 Tuscaloosa-Birmingham tornado reminds us of both nature's awesome power and human resilience. Communities that were literally torn apart have been rebuilt. Families that lost everything have found new beginnings. And collectively, we've learned valuable lessons that continue to shape how we prepare for, respond to, and recover from disasters. As we look at Tuscaloosa and Birmingham today, we see cities forever changed but not defeated, living testaments to the enduring strength of community in the face of catastrophe. For those affected, the memories will never fade. For the rest of us, their experience offers a powerful reminder. Respect nature's fury, prepare diligently, and when disaster strikes, stand together, because in unity we find our greatest strength. Thanks for watching today's video on this devastating but important historical event. If you found this informative, please hit that like button and subscribe for more historical deep dives. And let me know in the comments what other overlooked historical events you'd like to learn about. Until next time, this has been Deadliest Disasters.